Okay, guys, here we are with the Object 263. Let's go through the crew real quick. We do have 6 cents, brothers in arms on everyone. We've got situational awareness and recon for some view range, and we're working on repairs. We have repairs pretty much on everybody as well. And then we have concealment of all things and a little bit of firefighting. We have smooth ride on the driver, and that's for some gun handling and clutch braking because this thing kind of turns like a boat without it. We also run intuition, which is a great skill to have. And then concealment. I don't know why I've got that, but anyway. And then I've got it requires another crew member from the previous tank, so I've got brothers in arms and intuition. I actually just retrain that, and then I'll go for repairs next. So on the equipment, I use improved rotation mechanism, and the reason I do that is the whole traverse mostly. It does help with gun handling a little bit. But the whole traverse is really handy. And then my second category is a survivability slot for hit points, suspension, and because you don't want to get tracked in this thing. And then I have a gun rammer. Now my second loadout is going to be gun rammer, and then in the second slot I do an improved rotation mechanism. Sorry, and then I go with binos. Now there's 2 guns on this thing, and there's a 440 alpha gun, and they're really close in DPM, but I prefer the bigger gun, the 130 as opposed to the 122, not just for overmatch. The penetration on the gold rounds is higher on the 440 alpha gun, but I just really prefer the 130. I just feel like a punchy gun is really what is needed here. You almost never roll for under 400 on this thing, so that's the beauty of this thing, and you roll 600 a lot. So on to the armor, and this thing has pretty good armor. I want to say that it's like around 300 millimeters here and here. And this upper plate is basically an auto bounce. There is a spot on the right side of the gun, and also between the gun mantlet and the rest of the hull. If you can hit that shot, you can also pen it. There is a little triangle here that is not sloped, and it's 250 millimeters. So the key for me is to angle this thing up, and you're going to see me kind of angle this up. It doesn't have much gun depression at -4, but you can bait a shot and then shoot the guy. That's kind of what I tend to do, or try and get myself in positions that I can shoot people, because this deck here is 30 millimeters. So everything will overmatch it if something's above you. So you got to be careful of that. So that's how I play it. I play it like a bully. I've had trouble with this thing. I have a 49% win rate. It was like 44, so we're working our way up. But I was playing it way too aggressive. So you got to pick your battles. If you find something you can bully it. But otherwise, just play it like a regular tank destroyer. So let's jump into the game and look at the replay. Hey guys, while we get in position, we're going to talk a little strategy here on this map. So this dip is extremely important. The reason it's important, if the enemy takes it, then they light everybody that is on this side of the map, and guys from over here can get shots. Now, we're topped here, and I noticed that they don't have a huge heavy presence. They've got an Object 263 and a T95, which is going to be slow, and then they've got a 702 as their next top tier tank. There is a Basante, but that thing doesn't really have much armor, so I'm not too worried about it. And we've secured this dip. Now, what that does for my team is that they can sit in this position with impunity, get shots on guys that are crossing to heavy side, and also shoot guys up in this area here. So the Kunze Panzer has to kind of jog around me, but he does, and I probably should have been a little more careful. But now that we're in this position, we are in a very good spot. We're able to get a nice shot for 537, which is like basically the normal roll. 550 alpha is this gun's alpha, and it's 130 millimeter with 270 mils a pen. We aren't going to shoot any gold rounds, I don't think. But in this tiering, this tank has wicked armor. It's got really, really good armor. So I can just kind of play semi-carefully as we get side turret on this 7032, pardon me. And we're able to get a shot without taking a shot from the Leopard in return. So the beautiful thing about this thing, it's got about a 13-second reload, so it doesn't have great DPM, but it allows you to get unspotted. And we're going to try and get a shot on what I believe to be the only tank on that side, which is the Leopard. He's the only guy that's shot at us. We do take an arty hit. This thing does not like artillery, but I am using improved hardening, as I mentioned, and that's obviously helpful. So there's a T95, and ironically, in this position, I feel really good against a T95. I am not afraid of a T95 at all. Because of the way I've got my hull angled up like this, I feel like I can get shots on the T95, and he does not have shots on me. So we're able to sneak in a nice, juicy 578 round. Now, they are winning the other side, but they're going to bleed for that. We've got a Jagdtiger, we've got a Gasor 1008, we've got a Capazander coming back, and we have a 702 going back. So I feel like holding and maintaining this position is important as we fire a nice blind round. Nothing doing though, does not hit. So pretty slow game, right, so far. And even though I say this DPM's not great, when you stop and think about it, when you're hitting for 550, you do not have to hit a lot of shots to make it work. We punish that Leopard PTA. So we don't get spotted. And as you notice, because of this setup I've got, I don't have very good view range. We're able to hit the T95, and then we angle away from him where it's going to be very, very hard for him to pen us. So there's a gap between these buildings, and we're able to hit that gap and hit a nice 630 roll. And we're already up to 3,500 damage, and it's looking like we're doing pretty well. But there are a couple of guys threatening our base, and I decide I'm just going to go back and defend. I know the T95 is gone, and the Object 263 on their team is not doing much, so I would like to get there before the Lanson gets any help, and that's what we're gonna do. So the thing is, this matchmaking, and I've said it before, but this matchmaking with this tank, I have no fear whatsoever. We're able to take care of the enemy. Unfortunate for him. But with this big a gun, you do get ammo racks sometimes. The Lanson does the best thing he could possibly do, and that's track us. I mean, really, what else is he going to do? So we're up to 5,100 damage, and that's kind of basically getting close to the end of the game. But, yeah, 5,100 damage is pretty good. Of course, 1,500 of that, probably 1,000 of that was off the ammo rack. So, and we hit the Progetto. We're able to track him in place, and I was kind of hoping that our Super Pershing could get a hit. He does, But this Progetto is trying to back out of the situation, and against this thing, you just cannot back away from it. It is just too fast. So 6,000 damage, folks. 3 kills, and we're just searching down the last few guys here. And we still have 900 hit points. And I noticed this SU-130 PM, and I'm not afraid. I'm going to push in. I want to get damage. And we're asking for help here. Yeah, this thing is just flat out a bully against guys that... against things without armor or things that aren't very fast, because it is quick in the setup I've got. I don't even have a turbo on this thing, but it is fairly fast and deadly in this matchmaking. In tier 10 games, you got to be a little more careful. Let's go ahead and look at the after action on this. Well, of course, we got an ace tanker. We also got a high caliber in this game. We ended up with 6,268 damage, 4 kills, and 1,300 base XP. They're Lancing. Shout out to him. Bottom tier tank did very well. So 14 shots, 12 hits, 11 pens. We like to see that ratio, but we're playing this thing up close and personal. So block by armor is only 1,380. So that is a number that's fairly low. But at the end, I was just pushing for damage. I didn't care if I took damage there. So we ended up with 51,000 credits with a premium account. Would have even ended up with some credits with a standard account. So happy with that. Appreciate you guys watching. Hope to catch you next time. Tonester out.